It's alright, Zen. I know you're only here because you have to be. It's all good, man. Welcome in, everybody. How you guys doing today? You know, I set that category 2 times after I started my stream. Apparently it still wasn't working. You feel somehow responsible for what is transpiring. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start more clones. A big ugly brush. Do this whole thing again. Oh, I just want to oh, okay. Okay. Well, thanks. Thanks for making the one other viewer in here get a commercial and leave. Appreciate it. You stippling? No, it's just how I put washes on to make sure I don't like rub paint off since I just primed these last night. This is my comfortable way of in contrast paint on a large area of minis. Yeah. Go ahead and get his little skirt thing. Okay. One down. We can get the big one. Let's get the bike. Hope I have enough contrast paint. Bright neutral gray, by the way, paint makes stippled almond look pretty nice. The last batch I did, I dry brushed over all of this with bright neutral gray. But these guys are base coated in bright neutral gray at this point, so. Oh, by the way, bold titanium white. BTW. Yeah. I don't like using white paint on clones. I never have. I tried it once or twice when I first painted my own clones. I didn't like the way it looked. It looked way too like bright and off, even for clones. Like they have like pure white, like shiny armor, but it still didn't look right. So I always avoided white paint. E-painting stream I'm looking for. Oh, nice. What's going on, Eulogy Master? Yeah, it doesn't look real, right? It doesn't look like natural. I don't know if I should be too excited someone named Eulogy Master is excited about my stream, or that this is the stream that they feel like they need to be in. Sounds like something's about to happen. Be back later for sure. Okay, alright. That's right, you're actually at work today. Weird. But no droids here. No droids here, Eulogy Master. So if you're looking for droids, You're not going to find them. Not today, at least. Yesterday I painted droids. Doing kind of like a tabletop standard paint job on some clones today. Trying to make Rex a little nicer, but these are ARC troopers, so you know, we'll try to make sure they look cool. Hey, JD Hetzer, what's going on? I'm not at work. I don't work for the rest of the month or year. Yeah, ever again. Nice. A little jealous. A lot jealous, actually. Just putting a whole bunch of Apothecary white contrast. His gun is upside down. That's awesome. I did not assemble these minis, so if you see something funny with them, not my fault. I take no responsibility. Hey, Lord of Trek, what's going on? Also repaint models if they don't turn out great. Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. I would recommend Jay Cheatham, if that's how you pronounce your name. Welcome in, by the way. Your first ever model, maybe first couple models, never repaint them. Don't do it. You know, improve with the next minis and everything, and do better as you go, but keep those minis that you painted first. Keep them how they are, and they serve as a very good reminder, you know, months and years from now, on where you started, and you can see where where you've gone. So I recommend not painting over those, even if they look bad, you know, like years from now, if you're using them like they're models for a game. Like, it's kind of just like a fun story. Like, yeah, it's the first model I ever painted. Like, who cares if it doesn't look amazing, you know? Like, there's a story behind it, and it can always be, you know, the first Marine that dies in battle every game or something like that. But I definitely recommend not repainting your first mini or your first couple. Okay. Forward to leaving for Korea in a couple weeks. Oh, cool. All right. Skaven tie. Worry about ruin. No, you can't. You can't ruin minis like that. No. Everybody's got to start somewhere. I still have some of my first painted minis from 2002. They look bad, but I don't think I'd ever repaint them. Even have it marked as don't touch. Nice. Yeah. I'm not usually one to repaint minis anyway, so it's not too difficult for me to like tell myself to not repaint. But I get it. Just paint. Yeah, you can't ruin a model with paint. At the very worst, you know, if you need to restart on a mini or you need to get rid of paint, you can always strip it. Like isopropyl or an industrial cleaner. Works just fine to strip plastic minis. You. Let's get you. We have 9 clones to paint today. That includes that Bark Speeder. And these guys have a lot more color on them. The ARC Troopers are going to be, you know, 212 themed. We have Rex. We'll do Rex in kind of his classic colors for his 501st, and then we have the Bark Speeder will also be 212. So It'd be a good time. Tell people my first minis were cave art. Yeah, that's funny. I'm not clever enough. At least right now, I'm too tired to think of jokes like that. So that keeps their first dollar to show where they started. Yeah, yep. Alright. Get this guy. And we'll get the guys at the jump packs. Yeah, it's good. Have fun painting. Alright, alright. Have a good day, Lord of Trek. I'll see you tomorrow. Or sometime soon. Okay, jetpack guys. It's everyone's Wednesday. Anybody got any good news to share? Good news is I got a new job. Bad news is I got rid of remote telework. Oh, that sucks. But hey, congrats on the new job. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Companies getting rid of remote work. And how it sounds pointless until you realize that those companies and the people who own those companies need those properties to save, to not pay taxes. That's what that is. So, you know, and just have empty buildings. That doesn't. I don't know what that doesn't do, but they you know, how we can't have billionaires paying more in taxes, you know, like, or pay taxes at all. That's how they get rid of paying any tax. Yeah, if they did that, I don't know what would come to the world. So, shame. You're just gonna have to suffer so your boss can get their 5th tax-deductible yacht with money they don't pay tax on because they're borrowing against property. Alright. Got our Apothecary White. Let's see, not quite dry yet on Rex. This is $0 in taxes, yeah. As easy it is to hate on Tesla, like that's every major corporation pretty much. It's why they own a bunch of property. Is what they do. The strategy. You own a bunch of stuff, and then you don't take you don't take an income. You borrow money from the bank and use your property as collateral. So they give you a bunch of money with a low interest rate. Because you're super rich, of course you're going to pay the interest rate. And that interest rate is a lot lower than your tax rate. So you don't have to pay taxes. And you just, because you know, you're living on loans. You can't pay taxes on loans, right? So instead of paying taxes, they just pay off their loan. Give this guy a minute to dry. Alright, and we're going to grab my bright neutral gray. I have another bottle of this hanging out. I don't think so. Looks like that'll be one I need to get soon. Good to know. Make sure they're all pretty dry before I start on any of them. So yeah, what you guys got going on today? Anybody hobbying or anything, or are we just at work? Hey, Spill Paint Pot, what's going on? What's going on, Raja? Doing some lunchtime hobby today, painting up some more Vagrant Song minis. Oh, cool, yeah. The ones you've been posting lately. Nice. That gun's upside down. Oh well. I do need to report in and tell you guys the commando droid shields. I got them out of the freezer and tried to pop them off, and they wasn't coming off. Shields are not coming off the frames, so I have to paint the shields, like the whole shields, which is really unfortunate. So that'll be something to do. I think. Yeah, I have a kind of a lazy way of doing it. No, I got an idea. Yeah. Posting the ghost version after you die in the game. Oh, okay, you have the living version. Oh, that's cool. Does that make me think of Zombicide, where you have your like living version, and then you have the first time you die from zombies. You turn into like the zombie version of yourself. Archaic Hammer, we are not in the Warhammer channel, so I don't need those comments anymore. Please and thank you. But yeah, I'm sure someone out there calls this Star Wars Warhammer. What's going on, man? When this was the Warhammer channel, I can understand those comments. This is miniatures and models. Ugh. Just trying to get some contrast paint to dry. What are you? You're drying? Kind of. The Rex is dry. We gotta do our overbrush. So this mini is really interesting. You can build this mini without the sidecar. And ignore the upside down gun again. I did not assemble this mini. You can assemble it without the sidecar. So you just have the Bark Speeder on its own, which is really cool. The sidecar slows it down but gives it like a powerful weapon. But then the sidecar itself, you don't actually have to glue it in, and it could actually like move and like turn 180 degrees and everything, which is really cool. And it has a couple different weapon options, including I think you give the guy a rocket launcher sitting in the sidecar. But I think the version without the sidecar obviously looks a lot cooler because it's just like a cool, Republic speeder bike. But is what it is. I have a couple of these. I don't know if I ever assembled mine or finished assembling mine. Definitely never painted. Maybe I should do that sometime. I'll end up getting some Legion minis of my own. Got some this weekend, and we're going to do some painting. Oh, nice. That's cool. Maybe people will excuse the fact that the top speed's only 65 miles per hour. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Just put a rocket launcher on your sidecar. I have some militia of my own, some Heresy era militia to paint. I think I'm going to be doing that soon. If I can finish these guys today, I'll do that tomorrow. I don't know if I'll finish these today, though. It depends on how fast this dries. Yeah, there are a lot more colors on these minis. You know, speaking of which, I'll get out some of these colors I want to use. We'll start with this blue. Yeah, we get out the warm yellow. We'll eventually need that. I do play. Yeah. I haven't played Star Wars Legion in a bit, but yeah, these are commission. So someone sent these minis to paint for them, but I do play Star Wars Legion. I have a clone army and I have a bigger droid army. I like my Confederate army. I also play, 100 other games. I have a game of Horus Heresy tonight I'm pretty excited about. So, Mini Dehydra is so awesome. Things dry in like 30 to 60 minutes. Oh, cool. All right. That'd be quite the tool to get, a dehydrator for drying minis. Yeah, model paints take a lot longer to dry. I can understand that, like the like enamels and stuff. This is the watch paint dry stream, everybody. You're not dry. Are you dry? Just about. What about you? I'd call you dry. Alright. We got a foot here. Not quite. You, Gosu, what's going on, man? He's dry. Yeah, peak content. It really is. Yeah. When I first started stream, or I had the idea to stream, I told my wife about it, and she's like, "So you're gonna have people just watch paint dry with you, like on stream? That's what you're gonna stream?" It's like, you know what? Yes, I am. Cheap hair dryer from Goodwill dealt with dry. Nice. I have a little tiny fan that I used to use, but it broke a long time ago. I just never got a new one. Take some proper pics of Sigismund today. Nice. Yeah, the paint dry stream is where it's at. Okay, so we got a couple fully dry. How's this guy doing? I think he's looking good. Yeah, he's probably dry. Okay. Let's start on these first couple that I have. So do these 3 troopers, well, Rex and the two ARC troopers, which is actually, we got Echo, and it's not 5, it's just a clone trooper, but we'll do them first, and then we'll see how these other guys are doing. Alright, a good amount of paint. Use this actual dry brush, do a little overbrush. Have you watched Lacquer Dry? No, I haven't. Can't say that I have. Kingdom Come Deliverance. I have heard of it. I remember the first Kingdom Come Deliverance, like 5 years ago or something. I feel like it wasn't too long ago when that game came out. But yeah, it looks good. That's cool. That's much more like RPG, right? It's a bit like, it came out at the same time Bannerlord went into early access. Yeah, it was definitely much more the historically accurate, like Eastern European medieval game. That was the first one, the first Kingdom Come Deliverance. I remember watching a lot of content for both of those games. That's cool, though. It's good to hear it's well polished. Hopefully it's really well received. Okay, this little bit of dry brush. You know, I can see what I can do. Here's what we can do. Just for fun, I'm gonna take a little bit of white. Mix our bright neutral gray in it. Just a little bit though. See if we can't get a little more detail on Rex here. I saw the Civ 7 come out this week or something. Is that this week or this month, or when does that come out? I also saw Invincible Season 3 comes out, which I am not getting Amazon Prime to watch because that's expensive and I'm not dealing with that. Okay, just try to get a little extra color, a little extra layer of a highlight on here, on Rex. It's out, I think. Apparently it's got some balance issues. Oh, okay. I mean, balance issues don't sound like the worst problem to have in a game that big when it first releases. It's also never a game I would play multiplayer, so not particularly an issue with me. I get to figure out my best strategy on my own and then crush my AI enemies, including the bloodthirsty Mahatma Gandhi. The white blue from Procro looks over contrast whites. Oh, cool. Yeah. I might have to try that sometime. Okay. Yeah, a little extra for Rex there. It's out on Tuesday the 11th. Okay. Well, I mean it's hard to tell because you know all the like content creators and stuff, like the big names get it first and they always get it like, you know, well ahead of time. So you see the game out and you see people playing the game and you just assume it's out, right? I've painted Commander Cody a couple times, but that was a couple months ago when I painted Commander Cody. I was painting 212th yesterday, but they were just Phase 1 troopers. Yeah, no specific Commander Cody in this lot. But it's a pretty decent kit. I'm not a huge fan of the poses between Waxer, Boyle, and Cody, but it's cool. Not the Codys you're looking for, yeah. I mean, these dudes look exactly like Commander Cody, if you really want to know, but we're just doing kind of a gentle overbrush here. It's like a dry brush. I'm just loading up the brush with more paint, not wiping off as much paint, and I'm trying to be really gentle, at least at first, to get the majority of the panels and the ridges and everything back, but I don't want to I don't want to get in the recesses. I want to paint all my clones. Yeah. I have a lot of theories. So when I originally painted my clones for Legion, it was when the core set, the Legion Clone Wars core set came out. So all we had at that point were Phase 1 clones, the Bark Speeder, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Those were the only minis. I decided to paint my clones as the 332nd, which is the Ahsoka clones that join her for the Siege of Mandalore. So that's how my clones are painted. Phase 1s, and the Phase 1s don't make as much sense. And honestly, I didn't know they were going to make separate Phase 2 clones, which they don't anymore. Now all the clone troopers are just clone troopers. They're the same. But at the time, they made Phase 2 as a separate unit. And I was like, well, that kind of stinks because, there were only Phase 2s on Mandalore. There weren't Phase 1s, but all my Phase 1s are painted, as 332nd. And also, at the time when it came out, Season 7 of the Clone Wars hadn't actually been released. So all we had when I started painting wasn't even the trailer for the Season 7 of the Clone Wars. It was the archives of Lucasfilm that showed incomplete footage of the scene where Anakin hands over part of the 501st to Ahsoka and they all have their helmets painted. That was it. That was all there was to show the 332nd. And there was the storyboards. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be super cool and unique and like a deep lore thing, and it'll be really cool. And it's basically just like painting the 501st, but you're adding the cool details on the helmets, and then Ahsoka will come out, for the game hopefully one day, and I'll put her in the army, and it'll be a whole cool thing. And there is still no Ahsoka for the Clone Wars factions, which is insane to me. Although I think she's Padawan Tano is on the docket to be released, but yeah, by the time I think the Phase 2 clones came out and other stuff, the new season of the Clone Wars was coming out, and we all knew about everybody knew about the 332nd, and then everybody started painting them like the 332nd. My color scheme wasn't so unique. I think this thing could use this extra dry brush. Catch a couple more edges. Go see a residuals for her likeness. Yeah, no, because they have Ahsoka for the Rebels. The Rebels can use Ahsoka, and it's Fulcrum or whatever, but. But yeah, so my clones are painted as 332nd, but I don't think it's a bad idea to mix and match your clone troopers. So, make your Phase 1s all white, kind of like Phase 1s were at the start of the Clone Wars or something, but you can mess with your Phase 2s where you have a squad of 212th, and then when you have Cody leading them, it makes sense. Then you have a squad of the 501st, so Rex can be present, and it all works. And then you have all these other characters and their associated legions and stuff. I think that all works. The game is kind of weird how it works now, where I like can combine squads and stuff. So you're gonna end up painting a lot more minis per Legion than you would in the first iteration of the game. Okay. Little dry brush on that, bringing the colors back up. Let's check out these next few mini. Yeah, they announced her. She hasn't come out yet, but she is like on the schedule basically. I think AMG is they're re-releasing the core set with all like the original Civil War core set with all plastic minis. But I think they're planning on doing like a relaunch of the game around that time, which is like later this year. And with that, I think more mini releases, which they have other stuff coming out. They have they just released some droid units, and they got the clones, the advanced recon troopers. They're about to come out with like the Jedi leader in them. No, yeah, you can't get anything for the game. I mean, that's all AMG right now. AMG is, there's something going on at that company. I have ranted enough about AMG the past few months. Okay, let's see. Jetpack boys are good. It's the same with like Marvel Crisis Protocol too. Like it's not just Legion. I don't know if Shatterpoint's having the same issue, but you know, Zen had been trying for weeks to get some specific minis for his MCP collection. And he was like looking all over the country to get stuff. Exalted 8-bounds. Now I'm stuck on what color I want to do next. I don't know where to take them. Try reds and golds, or more blood. Although I'm personally a fan of doing the classic white and blue and then just like making it look all chaosified. A little more gray here. Yes, at some point last week, Yoshi, Crowds of stock a lot of FLGS responding, dropping lines. Yeah, yep. It was around last week. I was just like, you know, browsing the interwebs. I was like, man, like Legion looks like it'd be fun to jump back into. You know, I'm starting to paint some Legion minis, and it's been a lot of fun. I was looking up the new rules and like mess around with like how army list building is, if it changed at all, or you know, like what's changed with different things. And then I went to my local store. I played a game with someone at my local store of just like Horus Heresy, and I saw they had the new droids released, the Aqua droids and the Crab droids. Both really cool, like very cool minis. I love painting droids. Droids are so easy to paint, and they look so good. And I looked at the price tag. I was like, what? I was like, there is no way they expect people to pay this for these units. Yeah, $60 retail on those 4 Aqua Droid minis. That's like beyond GW prices. That's wild to me. Yeah. The big draw of that game was the great pricing on it. It was like, yeah, it's an 800-point game. You need like a core set. You could probably buy 2 or 3 core sets and be set, or you can just buy, you know, some $25-$30 boxes. And the fact they want $60 for I know they're like a heavy option, but they're infantry. They're just like bigger infantry and they're droids, and they're kind of spindly. There's not like tons of plastic on them. Yeah, $60 for those minis. That's an absolute no. Absolute no. Yeah, they were a great alternative to GW. You know, and it was another nice thing. Like I know people want like big battles and stuff, but it was great when it was like, hey, it's 800 points. Your squads are like, oh no, drop my brush in the water. Yeah, 3D printer. But your squads were like most squads were 4 troopers, and then you could upgrade them, and you could maybe get 6 in the squad. The droids were unique that they could get up to 8 if you paid all the extra points for everything extra. But you didn't have tons of minis. You maybe had a tank, uh, and you would have a couple heavy weapons in your squads. You would have some support stuff, maybe a Jedi, like stuff like that. And they increased the points to like 1,000. So they added 25% onto the point values for armies. But the units either stayed the same or they went down in points a little bit. And they made options to like double the size of squads, so you could buy 2 boxes and just get 1 squad out of it. And what's crazy about that is you end up with like droid squads of like 15, 16 minis, and it's just like unwieldy, I guess, for the game, and just even more pricey, right? Like it's just too many miniatures. A spilled paint pot. You got your sidecar, your motorcycle. That's great. Yeah, I see that on Discord. Let's see if I can get some. No good pictures. Okay, looks like we're gonna go in with black first. There's the picture I need for him. Okay. Yeah, I have STLs for some Star Wars Legion minis. Mainly because the painting son likes to paint clones. And I'm not buying $35 box sets of 7 clones. Every time he wants to paint them. So I'll just print a bed of 10 clones or whatever. Okay. Got that color. Let's... smaller crappy brush. We'll just start putting Black Templar on these guys. MG can turn things around. Yeah. Right. I mean, I like the games they make. I have not liked AMG since, they were suspicious when the company was first announced, and they have not impressed me at all. I'm not like a big Marvel fan either, so that kind of, I guess, shapes my perception. But those be black as well. Okay, okay. No game I have been impressed by is Mountain Blade Bannerlord with the Old Realms mod. I was messing around last night playing as a vampire because you can totally just start as a vampire, and it's incredible. I did learn the hard way, though, that you can just start recruiting like blood dragon vampires off the bat, and you can just get like 20 of them in no time. And I did see that, Zen. Yeah, I saw a preview of that article. I thought it was hilarious. They really don't want people playing that game. Okay, we're going to start with that for the black. We're going to come back on those. But these guys, I'm going to keep their little skirt things white. But yeah, I was playing as a vampire. And you get a unique resource. And it's basically like essence or something. And it's what you use to upgrade your troops. And you get it by like winning battles against like bigger armies, like killing troops and stuff.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back.
Hey, Sangros, thank you for the follow. How are you doing this morning? But it's really nice. It's really easy to upgrade all your troops and stuff. But I found out that vampire units, if you have actual vampires in your army, they use that as upkeep. And so I have 21 blood dragon vampires in my army, like blood dragon knights, which is a ton. But I'm struggling now because they need like 100 of that life essence every day for upkeep, and I can't kill enough to keep them like satiated. So I don't know. I'm struggling a bit. But I just massacre everybody in battles. It's incredible. It doesn't matter if you lose troops, because after battles you resurrect dead troops. Between the white and black, Zenithal highlight base. Oh yeah, let me look. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if you need to Zenithal the base. I mean, it might be a little late for that, since you're... Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I can do right now on those. I'll get the holsters. Yeah, since you already started painting the mini, it might be a little difficult to do a good Zenithal. Yeah, they're looking really good. I agree with Zen. So I'm going to play against the Space Wolf player in Horus Heresy this evening. And, well, I'm going to be teaching him the game. I feel like I'm not allowed to lose this. I did take what I think was a cool army, though. Better show him who's the better. Exactly, yeah. But he's never played Legion before. He's going to Adepticon to play in some events, so I told him I'd help him out. I think what I really need to do is teach him all the wrong rules, so when he starts, his games with his opponents at Adepticon, he just says everything wrong. He'd be like, yeah, typical Space Wolf player. No mercy. Yeah, do it for Prospero. Yep. I was Painting Son and I were painting last night for a bit. He was painting. He's got like a little. I made up like a Painting Son box. I reorganized the room, so he's got a whole box with all of his brushes and palettes and miniatures in it and everything. Everybody going home. You're just waiting. That's what you do. You go into work and you just wait to leave. It's great. But I was telling him playing it's a Space Wolf player. He's like, oh, okay. And I was telling him how much I didn't like the Space Wolves. And he's like, why? I was like, let me tell you a tale, my son. And so we spent 20 minutes me explaining to him why Space Wolves are bad. I was the TPS the wise, yeah. I was it was funny because I trying to explain to him a little bit, and I was like, yeah, and the Emperor, when he basically almost finished Conquer the Galaxy, he had other things to work on, so he left, and but before he left, he made a rule that you Space Marines weren't allowed to use psychic powers. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, that's like all Thousand Sons do. And I was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is, my son. Do you see the wrong here? And I was like, the Emperor is a psyker too. And he's like, why does he get to use psychic powers but no one else can? I was like, exactly, yep. And I was like, yeah. And he left the war in charge, his favorite Primarch in charge of everything while he was gone, and it was Horus. He's like the Horus Heresy. And I was like, yep. I was like, that's right. Going through, not in IKEA, yeah. Yep, he sees the hypocrisy. Just wait until he hears about Space Wolves having psychers, and how because they don't believe their psychers are psychers, that the Emperor was cool with it. We all got played by the Chaos Powers, yeah. Yeah, I mean, red's never a bad idea on 8-pound. I like your 8-pound though. They're like a kit bash, kind of like a homemade 8-pound. which is really cool. Wolf spends time with Psyker and is cool with it, then puts him on blast at the trial. Yeah, yeah. And Zen really is bored. He's just possessed for 8 pound. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I know World Eaters are only getting a character, which, I mean, I guess they need a character, but man, I wish they got some more interesting units. I wish GW would do something for World Eaters besides Chain Axe. You know, like, they have a lot of interesting things they could do. They could find ways to make, like, artillery and stuff for World Eaters and make lore reasons that it makes sense. Blinkers in front of an office. Yeah, give them stuff from the regular units. Yeah. Yeah, Emperor's Children are getting a bunch of regular Chaos Marine units. And World Eaters don't get much. On Horsebook, they describe pretty cool World Eater lore, the Heavy Bolter. Yeah. Yeah, World Eaters weren't like the you know, through the heresy, at least through a lot of the heresy, they weren't completely like stark raving mad. It was Angron who was stark raving mad, and the World Eaters were just trying to like not make him more angry. It was Skull Reapers. Okay, I thought they were from AOS. Yeah, very nice. Here's and Corn Demons. And the Blood Angels Eternity Wall. Oh, it's good. Yeah, nice, nice. That was one of the things about the World Eaters. They really liked armor, especially stuff with really big guns, because they could blast through the fortifications quicker. Like, that was their whole thing, was like trying to, you know, get through things fast. So big tanks were good for that. Okay, 2 more normies. And we have to remember I have 5s and Echo here, so they'll also be painted with 501st colors. World Leader always in your favorite army. Nice. One of the reasons 40k kind of gets old to me is that GW kind of Flanderizes everything, right? Like, there's no nuance with a lot of factions, especially Chaos. I think Chaos was the most egregious example of that. Where you have, you know, World Eaters are like everybody has a chain axe, and all they do is run into melee, and that's it. And you have Nurgle, and it's like everybody's got a mouth or intestine, a mouth in their stomach or intestines coming out. Like, oh, we're the silly, goofy ones, but we're bloated and bright green. And like that's like Nurgle. Tuning heavy metal style a little too hard with 40k? Yeah. Yep. No, one of the reasons I really liked that wasn't like the Lord of Plagues or that there was an Age of Sigmar mini with like the scythe on the horse that came out, and it was like reminiscent of old like John Blanche artwork. It's an incredible mini, and it shows like the old style of Nurgle, right? Which is not just like happy, like bloated, decayed people. It was like this like depressed, like depressed death theme, like affliction and despair and like decay, but not just like bloated corpses. Because it's like everything in 40k just bloated corpses. But for a long time, like Nurgle wasn't just that. There was like a, you know, it was like, yeah, things smell horrible when the Nurgle demons are around, and like, you know, they have like disgusting things going on, but there's like a sense of dread that comes with it. I think the most like goofy thing for Nurgle in the old days was the Mordheim warband, the Carnival of Chaos, and that was much more of like jovial, happy thing. But then that was like a juxtaposition on everything else, right? Like Mordheim is this terrifying, like dead city that opportunists are just trying to take advantage of. And you have like this carnival that goes through town. Stretch smiling one, the creepy type of smile. Yeah. I don't know. Poxwalkers kind of gave me the same vibe as a lot of the newer Death Guard stuff as well. Beast Snorkel is cute. Yeah. You ever seen people's interpretations of like the old Beast of Nurgle? That was a mini you had to like come up with on your own. What do we got? Let's see. Oh. No good painted example of this mini. really isn't. Oh, here we go. Okay. Here we go. Reminds me of Spartans in the 40k universe. It's enjoy dying for the gods. I don't know if Spartans enjoy dying, but yeah, sure. Okay, let's get some of these weapons here. No retreat, no surrender until they're like outflanked. Then they can retreat. But yeah, I think a lot of we know of from Spartans is like super idealized from like their latter like history, where Sparta basically became like a theme park for like rich Romans to come like, you know, hang out and hear all these stories about how great Sparta was. Sparta was a weird place though. Gun's awfully close to this guy's elbow. It kind of is upside down. Oh my gosh. Oh god. Okay, I think there's some details in black we'll put on this, but yeah, we can go ahead and start on details. Hey, Star Laser, what's up? Does no one? Yeah, I know the next line. I've seen that movie a good like 20 times. Okay. He's got a seatbelt, that's nice. staying safe. What? You're right, Chaos and Lead. I think Chaos and Lead fell asleep on his keyboard. Keyboard was dirty. Piece. We'll end up doing touch-ups on this gray. We'll have to. I think as far as the black goes, I think that's it. We're going to come back with some Basilicanum gray and go through some other parts. Start getting the rest of these guys. I never got his holsters. Yeah, I think next week we're going to be painting the 40K side of this commission. Which is about 20 minis. And and then we start on a Forge World mini. Just in time for Valentine's Day. Always enjoyed Roman history and Egyptian history. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. It's black. Yeah, I love learning about history.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your
Hey,
home.
Christian Rosenland, welcome. Thank you for the follow. How are you doing today? And T Slayer, welcome in. The eyes now, we'll touch them up later. That's how we do it. Couple mistakes. It's okay. Easy touch-ups. Excuse me. A little paint off there. Okay. So, what about Egypt? It's like a giant mystery, but everyone pretends they know everything. That's with like any subject. Everybody pretends they know everything. Whenever there's something happening in the world, all of a sudden everyone online becomes an expert. The stuff someone else said in a video. Yeah. I did my own research. Yeah. Had enough of that from people for a couple lifetimes. living in the Roman Empire. Egypt in its prime, yeah. I would like to think that when you're living somewhere when it's in its prime, you don't realize that it's in its prime, right? Like, everybody still has their own day-to-day problems that they're concerned about. And like, do you know when things are declining? Like, that's the thing. Like, do you know when it's getting worse? Or are people all throughout history the same as people, today, where they're like, everything was better when I was younger. Kids these days are lazy. Like, we have historical accounts of like Aristotle complaining about how kids are lazy, how the next generation is lazy and doesn't want to do anything, and just like old people complaining about young people all the time. Denmark's definitely in its prime. Okay, alright. Denmark's prime was when it was sacking cities like Paris. Being part of the terror of Europe. Don't realize until it's behind you, yeah. I think most people think their childhood was like the golden years, right? Because when we're children, we don't understand the problems that are going on in the world. So you get that attitude where, like, I miss the 1970s because people were nice to each other and there wasn't crime like there is today, and all this stuff. And you don't realize that, like, yeah, when you're a kid, you obviously don't watch the news and follow all the crime stories, but, like, crime rates were higher in the 1970s than they are today. And, like, everybody was inhaling lead until, what, like, the end of the 80s or something? Like, it's, we don't, like, you can buy a house and a wife for a nickel. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, like people's brains were so messed up in like those decades. And I think we're starting to see like actual like scientific research linking that to like leaded gasoline. Everybody just had lead poisoning. Yeah. I tried to explain that to a coworker of mine who was a boomer, back when I had a real job. And this guy was like the head security guard, and he was a piece of work. But he was trying to explain how he was telling me like crime rates are like everybody's like just crime rates are terrible and they're rising and everything. And so I showed him like, look, the FBI statistics show that like crime rates are lower now than they've ever been. Mind you, this was like 2015. And he was like, those aren't real and all this stuff. Like when I was a kid, you could leave your doors unlocked and everything. I was like, yeah, people got killed for doing that. So no one does that anymore. But also I tried to explain to him about the leaded gasoline thing. And he was like, that's not real. And I was like, oh, okay, like you can probably like look this up pretty easy. Like you got a phone, right? And he's like, well, I'll ask my son who's really smart. He knows a lot about this stuff. I was like, all right, guy. As he's like turning red and like, yeah, oh yeah, he was full lead poisoning. That guy was really funny. We did he's so gullible, but we did a like a weight loss challenge where I worked. And there were only like a dozen people where I worked. Like I only had like a dozen coworkers, but I decided one year, I was like, man, I just want to lose some weight. So what I did, I gave myself motivation. I made it a competition. I told a bunch of people, asked who wanted in on it. We'll do like 3 months. Whoever loses the most weight in 3 months, and we all put in $10. Whoever loses the most weight gets the money. Boom, pretty easy. So this guy joined in, like in his 60s, very overweight. And he joined in. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I got motivation to lose weight. I'm the youngest person here by, like, at least 15 years. Like, I have a pretty good advantage, but for me, it's motivation. Like, I put a few bucks on the line. It's gets my competitive spirit going, so I'll take what I can to motivate myself to lose weight. So, people, but anyway, we start this thing. He's like, I'm gonna do a keto diet. He's like, I heard that's the new thing. Like, you lose weight super fast doing a keto diet. So I'm gonna do a keto diet. I'm like, okay, cool. And like a week later, I'm like, hey, how's the keto diet going? He's like, yeah, my doctor said don't do a keto diet. It's bad for your heart. And I already have heart problems, so I can't do a keto diet. So I'm gonna do a Mediterranean diet. That's what I'm gonna do. Mediterranean. I'm gonna lose weight really fast doing a Mediterranean diet. Next week, I'm seeing him. He's like eating like a Whopper from Burger King or whatever, and I'm like, hey man, I was like, how's that Mediterranean diet going? He's like, I can't do the Mediterranean diet. He's like, it's bad for your liver. My doctor said I can't do a Mediterranean diet. He's like, I'm gonna do this diet. He just kept doing that for 3 months, and I'm pretty sure he gained weight over the 3 months. But there were people there. It was like bunch of old like boomer dudes, that I worked with. So it was yeah. Yeah. So one guy, we were like a month and a half in. Yeah, exactly. We're like a month and a half in, and this guy's like, I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. He's like, I'm eating better. He's like, I'm trying to exercise and everything. And there's another dude, he's like in his 50s, and he's like, I just don't understand. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, hey, I eat the same breakfast every morning. He's like, I eat a couple eggs and I have a couple pieces of sausage, and like, that's my breakfast. And then, and normally I can eat kind of what I want for lunch. I'm just like, dude, like, you're just every single one of these guys. So by the end of the 3 months, or after a month, so I hit it really hard for a month. I was like, I'm going to get a calorie count. Like, I set a limit for myself. I was tracking what I was eating and everything. After a month, I just stopped. Because all my motivation was gone. Because it was all the same from these people I worked with. They're all just like, yeah, I'm going to start. I'll start soon. I'll get this started soon. I'll start losing weight. We got 3 months. I got 2 more months. And all this stuff. So by the end of it, there was one other person that lost weight out of like the 10 of us that joined in. I lost 25 pounds, and most of that was again in the first month, and I just kind of stopped because I knew no one else was going to lose any weight. Another dude lost 5 pounds, and then nobody else lost any weight. Yeah, I had since put that all back on and then lost it all again, the past couple months. But yeah, it was just funny, like, nobody lost any weight, so I treated my wife to a nice dinner. Yeah, I just remember that security guard though, like, I'm gonna do the keto diet. Oh, my doctor says keto diet's not good for your heart. He just kept doing that. 20 years old working with 50-year-old construction workers. Should be extremely stupid. Yeah. I agree. You can get really far in life being really dumb. One guy I worked with, his name was Tom, and he was another like in his maybe late 50s, early 60s, and his nickname at work was Bad Santa because he looked like Santa. He was short, and he always kept like this really like fluffy white beard. He was heavy and everything. He had the foulest mouth out of anyone I've probably ever worked with. But he worked for the post office like the U.S. Postal Service for like decades, and he got fired. And his whole reason he got fired, he worked in the mail room or whatever, in the like sorting rooms and stuff for a long time. He wanted to be a delivery driver, so he got hired as delivery driver, and he kept getting DUIs. And his whole thing, he'd go on a rant about the post office and how the postal service is terrible. He's like, you get 3 DUIs and they won't let you deliver mail. He's like, what kind of ridiculous company is this? Yeah. So, yeah, he had 3 of them. And he would he'd get so mad about it. But we called him Bad Santa because because he looked like Santa, but also he wanted to be a mall Santa. That was like one of the things he wanted to do to earn extra money, because he wasn't earning a bunch of money at this job that we had. So so he applies to be a mall Santa, and no one will hire him as a mall Santa. And his exact rant, yeah, because they make tons of money, Gosu. You just go and you make tons of money for a month, and yeah, it's like good extra money. So yeah, they'd make like $30 an hour, but this was like a seasonal job in like the 2000s, but his whole rant, we're like, why aren't you a mall Santa or whatever? And he's like, well, you get 3 DUIs and they won't hire you to be a mall Santa. The dude just kept getting DUIs and couldn't get a job, so they hired him to work with medicine and scheduled drugs. Yeah. Incredible he got this job. Yeah. He would yeah. He was so funny though, the guy. Like I never like cared to like chat with him or whatever, but we had a lot of people at that place that would just speak their mind, especially to management. And he would get upset at like one of the bosses, and he would just start yelling at him, like top of his lungs, just absolutely berating management, like personal insults at people, and like, yeah, and no one would ever do anything about it. These managers just sit there and just listen to him. They wouldn't interrupt him. He wouldn't get in trouble. He wouldn't get written up. Nothing would ever happen. It was just, he would just every week or so, he'd get mad about something, and he would just go off on everybody in management. Yeah. Man, there was another guy I worked with. Same company. All this stuff is the same company. This company was the weirdest work experience I ever had. This guy was in his 40s, and and he worked third shift. He's kind of a weird looking dude. He looked like, you guys remember Mad TV? You remember the character Stewart, like the really popular, like it was Michael McDonald acting like a little kid. This guy looked kind of like Stewart. Had like the same haircut. It was weird, but he I first met him. I first started working there. I met this guy. His name was Will. He mentioned he goes to Ohio State, or he went to Ohio State, and I was like, oh, cool. I was like, what's your degree in? This is, mind you, this is warehouse work again. And he's like, oh, I don't have a degree. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, how long you been going to Ohio State? He's like, 23 years. It was like, okay, cool. That's a lot of money. He's like, oh no, the company pays for it. Okay, company's paying for you to go to Ohio State for 23 years. He's like, yeah, just take a couple classes. He's like, I just, I go, I'm an English major. He's like, he's a super senior. Yeah, he's like senior in every meaning of the word at this point, right? He's got his Buckeye card, which is like the senior citizen, like discount card you get in Ohio. But but like he would go to classes and he would attend classes in person, and I don't know if he would pass or not, but he said the company would pay for it, and the company ended up, like, they had a thing, if you were in college, they would pay up front as long as you were passing your classes, which was cool of the company, help you get like a degree and stuff. But yeah, he was an English major, and he just talked about he'd take classes like every semester, and who knows if he was passing or failing or just wasting his money or whatever. But he made a lot of comments about girls that were going to Ohio State, which got really creepy because, again, this dude was like in his 40s, and he was like making friends with the like, quote unquote kids on campus and everything, and he'd talk about like his friends at OSU and everything, and yeah, that dude was really strange, little steward looking guy. Yeah, later on too, it was funny because a coworker of mine wanted to go to school to get it was like a network engineering or something degree, like technology degree, and the company denied like paying for him to get his degree. And he's like, why are you denying my degree? And they said that or his, like, the reimbursement they're paying up front, and they said it's not relevant to his current job. He's like, okay. He's like, well, Will's going to school, he's been going for 20 years to get an English degree. Where is English related to his job? And yeah, and they wouldn't answer him like why this other dude got his English degree paid for, but he wouldn't get his degree. And I think a lot of it was maybe had something to do with the fact that the guy going for the network degree was not a white person. The guy got a little suspicious. Hey, Pip Me, welcome. New to painting minis, enjoy watching process. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm just doing some contrast. We're doing simple stuff on Star Wars minis. Yeah, the guy was too nice to bring that up, though. He was never going to make that an issue. I used to come home from work every day from that place, and I'd have a new story to tell my wife about something like absolutely ridiculous somebody did. And yeah, I still don't know if she believed me on some of this stuff. But yeah, just have the weirdest things people would do. Yeah, Pit Me, I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch. So if you see me chatting with people you don't know who it is, probably because it's people in Twitch talking. But glad you could join. If you have any questions about painting, or if you want to talk about what you're painting, or if you want to show off your minis or something, just let me know. I do have a Discord, and we have a pretty little active Discord community. People sharing minis they paint and just chatting about random hobby stuff. So if that's something that interests you, just let me know and I can send a Discord link to you. YouTube doesn't like commands set up, or it's a little more difficult to get commands set up on YouTube than Twitch. So I don't have. Yeah, Twitch is the same name. Yep. I like streaming on YouTube. I like YouTube as a platform, as like a viewer experience, but it's easier to like stream on Twitch. And I got established on Twitch, so I'm chilling there. But I like streaming on both. Yossi, what do you think will be Heresy Thursday stuff? What's your prediction? Surely there can't be 3 Mechanicum announcements in a row. Yeah, we haven't seen Sons of Horus Mini in a couple. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Like on one hand, I'm really tired of just seeing like characters, like individual characters. I wish they would announce something like really cool, something big plastic set of something. But I am guessing it'll be some kind of resin character. Painting the yes, I always paint the clear flight stands. Always. I have opinions about clear flight stands, and I know like people hate flight stands, and I do too. But I have learned playing a lot of games with the clear acrylic that a clear acrylic is more of a distraction than, definitely than what it's intended to be. But I think painting them just a flat black looks better and less distracting from the mini than keeping them clear. So I'll go through and I'll paint that black toward the end. Voucher in my email, ended up picking up the Little Horse Mini. Oh, cool. I haven't got that voucher yet. I ordered something last summer from GW. Yeah, I've been waiting for my voucher. I know they've been sending vouchers to people, so I'd probably use it. I mean, $10 off still isn't matching the price of like my local game store, but there are direct only things, so I can buy some direct only stuff. 28 mil U.S. Army weapons team in winter combat gear. Oh, cool. Is that for bolt action? I've heard really good things about the new edition of bolt action. It's the only reason I used it. Yeah. GW knows what they're doing. What I'll probably do is get some Dreadnought weapons or something. Little bit of mess on these minis, but again, I'll correct them. Yeah, bolt action, nice. Not familiar. I play a lot of different mini games. I don't play bolt action, but I am very familiar with bolt action. So. Okay, these little front belts. Can't think of the last time I did. Right. Okay, and then just Captain Rex. Let's get the details on him with the black, and then we'll pick up some other colors here. We'll start getting maybe grays. Rex has a unique helmet. His helmet is a mix of Phase 1 and Phase 2. It's like a custom helmet that he had made. Yeah, painting historicals is it makes me nervous. There are, I don't know, it feels like there's a lot more pressure to make sure things are right and like painted well. I have a little bit of a similar vibe with like these like Star Wars minis, because like the characters in Star Wars are what they are, but the outfits are a little more like fanciful, right? So there's some leeway. Is it noon already? Okay. That's it for the black on Rex. No, the inside of his cape. Long day in the salt mines. Yeah, rough, man, rough. I heard your end of day siren going off. This is maybe the third or fourth Rex I've painted. Okay. Next colors, I gotta look up a couple things. Perfect, all right. Okay, yeah, I think Basilicano Gray is our next color. Air raid sirens at noon to signal the end of my day. Yep. Saying Zen, go home. It's Wednesday at noon. All right. Five's an Echo here. Let's do Echo first because I have them up. Take this Basilicanum Gray, and he is mostly kind of covered up on some of these spots, so we'll just try to do what we can. What is he making? Minecraft Man, welcome. I am painting Star Wars minis for a game called Star Wars Legion. How are you doing today? What's it making, Precious? Or was it, what's it doing? Oh, cool, well done. Thank you, I appreciate it. Hope you're having a nice day. he's got his chest and wrist. This wrist piece, yeah, is gray. Try to get down to his chest piece here. Get a little bit of it. Okay. He's got some gray. Where's fives? Doesn't have gray. Alright, here's fives. Okay, fives is pretty similar. Yeah, the legs are the same. You paint everything that needs to be done with one color and then move on to the next. Yeah, that's how I paint. Yep. I'm a full-time commission painter, and I paint armies for people. Is usually how I work. So at least like a squad of minis or big monsters, or sometimes entire armies at once. So I have learned how to try to be the most efficient with my batch painting. And that typically means painting the same color on every mini and then moving on to the next color. As a straight like time management perspective, that's the most efficient way to paint. Is it the most enjoyable? No, definitely not. But that's just kind of the things I have to do to get other people's minis done. That his shoulder. Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning a lot too. I've been doing this for almost 25 years. Still learning a lot. His skirt is kind of strange, but sure, we'll do it. We'll do it. I think the hardest mini I've ever painted. Oh man, I say we're just talking like a one-off mini. It was my Magnus the Red, my Primarch for my 30k army. Just because I spent so much time on it. I think I spent about 40 hours on the mini between assembly and painting. But we'll see. Magnus is difficult. I have another Primarch I'm painting next, so we'll see if how difficult that one's going to be. Yep, another Primarch. Yeah. Yeah, you got to look up the Magnus, the Heresy Magnus. So there's a 40k version of him, and the 40k version is a lot different. The 40k version is like a big monster. This guy is much more like man size. Like he's a large dude, but just the details are it's got way more detail on it. Okay, I think that's it for the gray on him. Does Rex have gray? I don't think Rex does. No, he's pretty standard when it comes to that, so we'll put Rex aside. Yeah, it's like the yeah, me too, Pip. I like the Primarch more than the 40k mini. Yeah, it's like his mortal form before he was a demon. That's what they're recreating there. Yeah, I have pictures of him on my Instagram. Or he's on. I'm also on Blue Sky. I might have pictures of him on Threads, but if you want to look up the photos of my painted mini on Instagram, I'm Painting Dad 365. On Blue Sky, I'm just the Painting Dad. Yeah, that's probably good. Probably good for you. Let's do his wrist and hands. How about that? Your work is awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to post every day. I think I skipped a couple days, but I'm running out of finished projects to put on there, so I'm gonna be real sad here in a little bit. Just trying to like archive all my things, right? Like post as like a portfolio of things I paint. that. Yeah, it's probably good. Let's do the legs on this guy. Start adding actual color to these minis very soon. Last guy here, put a lot of gray on him. How about that? Gray. Need to get the gray on the speeder, which I think is quite a bit. Alright, lots of gray on him. Now we got the bark speeder. Alright, let's figure this one out. This whole middle piece. Foot pedals. He doesn't have foot pedals. Cool. Alright. A mini I didn't put together. Again, in case I need to remind people. And he's a lot easier to paint when you can separate it. Hey, 6-foot squirrel, what's going on? Alright, what else? Let's get this little middle connection piece here also. Alright, what else we getting that's gray here? I think maybe there's seats. That might be about in this back kind of vent piece. I think that's it. About it for the gray. Paint figure with one color, then place to the side to dry and pick up another to start. Yeah, yep. Is my it's like an assembly line kind of method. So by the time I finish with one, the one I started with is dry. It's the way to do it. So with the white and black, so now we have these extra colors to paint. I'm thinking we start with fives. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me get a little more here on Echo. I need to get this shoulder piece. Yeah, let's start with the blue first. Then we'll go over to our yellow on the ARC Troopers. Okay. Rex, fives, and Echo. And we're gonna start with dark blue-gray as our base color. That's a nice close-up. Okay. Finally using regular paints here. Favorite trooper outside of the 501st and the 212th? Either like Wolf or Gregor, right? I don't know. Wolf is a pretty obvious choice, but Gregor's cool. It's like the first time you see a clone trooper in like canon Star Wars, which is neat. Bad Batch guys are also pretty cool. Panels here. He's gonna start to actually look like Rex. He has some designs on his helmet, which I think we're going to just do in the brighter color. We're not going to worry about base coating that and highlighting it. still wait for that. Who is your favorite trooper, Shadow Sun? Oh, you know what? No, no. Yeah, Rika. Okay, Rika. No, no. My favorite is Fordo. Captain Fordo. Fordo's the man. From the moment we see him in the original Clone Wars animated series. He's like the OG Captain Rex. Okay, he's got blue stripes here. Way down his hand. Tech's your favorite? Yeah, Tech is awesome. I'm trying to think who Rika is. Oh, Rekka. Oh, I get it now. I get it. Yeah. Rika. Teak. Rika. Hunter. Yeah, clones are cool. There's a good one. I can't remember his name in the Bad Batch. The one with the green armor that gets arrested for like disobeying orders from the Imperials. Hauser, maybe? Yeah, Teak, yeah. Okay, we got some blue on Rex here, on Reeks. Okay, let's go to fives. I think Hauser. Hauser, I think, is the guy's name. Let's see. Yeah, Hauser's the dude. Yep. Howzer. Yeah, he's got the cool haircut. Yeah. Yeah, you finally start to get that whole sense that the chips are wearing off, or like something's wrong with everything. Triangle here. Okay, he's got the stripe down his shoulders. Shoulder isn't painted. Today I'm going to prime base come X-Men. Nice. Very nice. Okay, his legs and his cape here, which is really annoying. Goes down into the middle, so we'll just pick a spot, say there. I'm going tonight to one of them, yeah. It's the one closer to me, though. Why do you ask? Got some Horus Heresy to play, dude. I gotta beat some Space Wolves. Alright, we got some blue on there. Can this all be highlighted? Training game, would you kept 2 paints? Yeah, sure. Oh, you're not going. Taking a little break. It's fine, take your time, get some painting in. Yes, yeah, I did see your message last night as I was like, it's like getting in bed. Yeah. That's fair. And that happens. He had a pretty decent run with it before. Hey, Obi-Wan Shinobi, welcome. How are you doing today? This afternoon. It's afternoon here. Beginner's luck? Yeah, maybe. It didn't seem like you were playing things like poorly, like you were got to take advantage of that luck, right? Assembling some display pieces for friends. Oh, cool. Okay. What kind of display pieces you putting together? What's that one? All right. Echo time here. Echo's got different unique stuff going on. I was looking up some of the necromancer options in the Death Wizards game. I figure we could play using my vampire count minis. Solo leveling pieces, Moon Knight piece, and have a Guts piece printing right now. Okay, oh cool. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what solo leveling is. That's an anime. Okay, okay. Guts from an anime. Okay, I've heard of Guts. Like I'm very like vaguely familiar with it. So I at least understood that Guts was some kind of anime related thing. So Painting Son has his last fencing practice before his tournament on Saturday. Pretty excited. I hope he's ready. He's really simple here. Statues that typically have dynamic pose or action pose. Okay. Don't do masks. That's fair. Now for the cape has some weird kind of stripes on one side. Okay. Got the base coat blues down here. Let's put some reds on the bark speeder. Follow those patterns. Painting my pieces though. Right now I send them to someone else to get done. Oh yeah, hey, learn how to paint. Painting busts is like a whole different skill, I feel like, than painting minis. I don't know, maybe easier, maybe more difficult. It's hard to tell, but I have my comfort. I know people that paint both very well, but just something that's a lot different for me. Oh crap! Yes, I did, Raja. I was, I think I was looking at while I was making dinner or something last night. Let me see. Yeah, you had the Starhawk. You had. Okay, so some of the things I was thinking of. You have the assault frigate, which I love the assault frigate. It's always like the thing is just like a flying pig, but or a potato. That's what it's the potato. That's what people call it. I don't think Paragon's a very good title for it. It's kind of difficult to get off. If you're going with the durability in those squadrons, I think Gallant Haven might be a better title. I don't know if your points allow you to fit Gallant Haven on that ship. But you just try to keep your fighters close. And I think it reduces the damage they take or something. If I remember correctly. I think there's like damage reduction built into Gallant Haven. I think might be a little more synergistic. And the other thing I saw on your Starhawk, I saw you took Kaitkin and Sholin, who give you like the one-time reroll, right, on like all of your dice. I think it might be prudent to take them out and swap out the MS1 ion cannons for leading shots. I think leading shots are a better reroll mechanic than Kaitkin and Sholin, and you can use them on every attack. Yeah, a gate is really good too, especially if you're gonna put all your eggs in like the one basket. It's exhaust, but it's once per attack. Okay, is the leading shots exhaust? That might be a change that I'm not privy to. No, leading shots used to not exhaust. Oh, they're exhaust. Okay, yeah. Still, do you have to pay anything to refresh them, or do they just refresh at the start of a round? Let's do a little bit here. We'll do a second coat of this red, or burgundy rather. On these guys, we can do these front panels. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying is, yeah, the leading shots. Looks good. Hey, what's going on? Yep, yep, I had this commission to paint here, so we're working on some Star Wars. I think that might be good. You know what? We'll do this little panel right here, and then let's go through and do a second coat. Yeah, yeah, Kaken, they refresh the start of the round. Yeah, I mean, reroll on everything. Is that when it's reroll all, or is it reroll any of your dice with Kaken? Okay, a little bit of red, and then we're gonna get the clones yellow because we're gonna be doing 2/12 clones. Any dice of okay, of one color. Gotcha. I knew there was some kind of trade-off. Yeah, I mean, there's not like I don't see any like glaring things. Like Paragon's probably the weirdest choice of anything in the list. I remember when the game started, like people tried so hard to make Paragon work, and it was just like never a thing that people could do. The assault frigate doesn't have like great arcs to get double arc on a single target. And it doesn't have great dice either, so it's not like a brawler that you want in there using Paragon a bunch. I think Gallant Haven is a better choice if you can fit it. But otherwise, no, it's not bad. You took Green Squadron. Okay, if you do a gate, then you can take the yeah. I think that's probably a good choice. I'm not sure what Green Squadron's a bomber, right? Isn't that Green Squadron's thing? It's just like a bomber A-wing. I don't think that jives super well with the rest of your squadrons, but yeah. I don't know. It might be worth either just saving the point to turn it to a regular A-wing, or switch to an X-wing or something, or a YT. Parry required to shoot the target twice from the potato, or it's just the ship is attacked at all. I think it's you have to target the same thing unless they switched it. I remember it had to be the same target in order to trigger. Okay, we got that red. Let's do some Iyanden yellow contrast. There's one more little bit of red I want to do. So, I can't do that yet. No, I need to fix some things before I do that. Already attacked this round. Yep, Iyanden yellow. I think the U in that statement being the ship that's activating, not the player. Yeah, it's the ship. I'm like 95% sure. It's always been the ship. Back in my day, it was always the ship. Okay, Iyanden yellow. That's right. We got some yellow paint. Might be minis I finish tomorrow. Yellow looks great on. Yeah, it does. It does. I like the cyan and yellow on these guys. It's got a good, like, warm kind of orange. 2 blue dice per arc. So it's far from guaranteed I'll get a critical from those two. Yeah. Yeah, you're only sitting at like a 50% chance of getting a crit. Not great odds. Yeah, ramming probably isn't the best strategy. Only time ramming really works is when you have General Riken. And then you just laugh the whole time because you rammed them and your ship just stays in place. Riken was so busted for so long. It was glorious. Yeah, the extra defense token's really good. Do the knee pads here. I think we'll need to come back and get their faces later. So I gotta correct the paint first. The grays that I have. Trifoam packed up. Oh, cool! You actually got it. Okay, nice. I didn't realize that was stuff you were just getting. Exciting, man. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, Rebel fleets are just the coolest. Look, all right. See you later. do something crazy on this guy. One more trooper, and then we got our bike guys. We're gonna have to finish these up tomorrow. Right, let's get the bikers here. Need some lunch. All right, Zen. Have a good one, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, and send me a message the paint you want. I'll grab them for you. I'll set a reminder on my phone. one we can. Alright, some yellow on these guys. Something I want to do here, since we have the gray on the palette here. Little seat belts. All right, looking pretty good. We're gonna do some highlights and such tomorrow. A lot more details on these minis than the minis we did yesterday, but still not bad. We're getting stuff done. I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream right there, guys, and yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. 10 a.m. We're going to try to finish these minis, see what else we can work on too with our time. But you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. And thanks, guys, for coming to hang out. All right. Bye, everybody.